Hey everyone, how y'all doing and welcome back to another meta guide. So we are in the Summer Cup Great League Edition. So the Pokemon types that are going to be eligible are going to be normal, fire, water, grass, electric, and bug types. So no specific Pokemon are banned for this meta. So Summer Cup, I don't know, let me know what you think. We've had this for a few years. It's obviously different because we have different Pokemon, different updates. Not my favorite in the past. We'll see how this meta plays out. I'm looking forward to the Ultra League, but yeah, we got the Ultra League and the Summer Cup running alongside each other beginning tomorrow. So let me know what you think. So we're gonna go ahead and dive right into it and see what we got going on. For the S rank, we do have Credilli. Who doesn't love Credilli? I absolutely love this Pokemon with that Rock Tomb. Rock Tomb made this Pokemon so good. Bullet Seed, Acid, both moves are good. So I mean, you can really pick which one you want. Really depends on your move. If you want to go after water types, Bullet Seed is going to do more damage. So it just really depends what you want. And then we have Fortress. Fortress with the Bug Bite, going to be doing pretty well. I think Fortress is a solid Pokemon. In the Great League, I do like Sand Tomb, especially if it's the Shadow one. Just so the Bug Bites do more damage and you get the Sand Tomb fast. Obviously, you could run Earthquake if you're running like the non-Shadow. But if you're running the Shadow, you probably do go for that Sand Tomb Bug Bite damage. And then obviously Rock Tomb as well, right? Kingdra, another one. Kingdra has Dragon Breath, which gets to Swift super fast, gets to Outrage even faster than it used to previously. So Kingdra, a great safe swap. I don't know, it feels like people are forgetting about Octazooka. How do you feel about Octazooka? Do you feel like it's just better to go with Swift, or do you like Octazooka? Let me know, because the 50% chance to double debuff, I don't mind that. And then we have Empoleon. Of course, Empoleon is absolutely fantastic with Metal Sound. It takes 5 Metal Sounds to get the Drill Peck, which was buffed this season, as well as Hydro Cannon, which, you know, is a super powerful move. We got the new Rock Wrecker user outside of Rhyperior. Crustle gets Rock Wrecker, and Crustle is actually going to be putting in some work. Love to see it. Getting to that Rock Wrecker, doing a lot of damage for sure. We got a Dragon type. We have Drampa. Now, Fairy types are not eligible. So it doesn't mean you won't necessarily see a fairy type, right? Obviously, if you happen to run into a fairy type, it has to have another typing. If there is one, I don't see any on this list. But still, Drampa, relatively safe. I would say the Dragon Breath damage, gonna get to the Fly. It has Fly as a move. Great Pokemon. I think this is going to be really popular in this meta. Then we have Morpeko. Morpeko's an interesting one. Morpeko's a Pokemon that is definitely good. It is kind of difficult to run, I feel like. But, if he gets on those good matchups, if it has Shield or Energy Advantage, it does well. Needs to avoid the Mud Slappers or Ground types in general, but it can do pretty well. I like this Pokemon a lot. I like the form change. I like it. Stunfisk, of course, a Pokemon Morpeko certainly does not want to see. Gets to the Mud Bomb quick, gets to the Discharge quick. Good Pokemon. So I think this Pokemon is another one that we'll see quite often. Moving on to the A rank, Togedemaru, a Pokemon that could see some play in this meta. The Wild Charge obviously hits like a truck. You could boost up with Fell Sting if you want to as well. Gastrodon, another Mudboy. We have a couple Mudboys, that Gastrodon, right, and the Toedscruel. Gastrodon is a Pokemon that has been fantastic ever since Mudslap got nerfed. I was hoping Mudslap would be buffed, excuse me. I was hoping Mudslap would be nerfed this season. It wasn't. But Gastrodon, super powerful stuff. Obviously going to do well against a lot. Against the Stunfisk, against the Morpeko, the Empoleon. It just has really good play. You get to the Water Pulse. That's the move you generally run now over Earth Power. So Body Slam, which is doing more damage, plus Water Pulse, which you get to faster than Earth Power now. So, really strong Pokemon. Diggersby, so the chance to debuff is now 10% compared to the 30% from Scorching Sands, but Diggersby still has the bulk, it still has the damage from the moves. I still think it's a good Pokemon. Yes, you won't get the nerf chances as often, but I mean, Scorching Sands on Diggersby is still a good Pokemon. Then we have Toxapex. We'll see how often this is used. I mean, obviously it doesn't want to go up against ground types. Brine is not really a good move, but it is bulky. So it does have that going for it. So I do think this will have some play because of the bulk. And then we have Victreebel. So Victreebel, not the Razor Leaf Victreebel. You could go that route, but not that one. Acid gets to the Leaf Blade fast. Definitely want the Shadow Victreebel. I would recommend the Leaf Blade. I would say Sludge Bomb as well because you're running Acid. So Sludge Bomb, Leaf Blade, gonna get to the moves fast. Victreebel, Shadow Victreebel is good at getting shields. Then we have Samurai, another Fury Cutter user. Fury Cutter getting to the Hydro Cannon super fast. Then Toadschool. Toadschool is unique because it does beat the other Mud Slap users. You got the Gastrodon, right? You know, you got Marowak. Is Marowak eligible in this meta? I don't know. I don't have it on the list, I don't think. I don't know. I don't... Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know. I forgot the typings already. But either way, you get the point. It does well against other Mud Slap users because it is resisting Mud Slap, right? You know, you could argue that you could put Torterra on this list as well, but it is resisting Mud Slap. And then, you know, obviously resist Water Pulse from Gastrodon. If we're talking Marowak, maybe let me check. Is Marowak banned from this meta? Normal, Fire, Water, Grass, Electric. Yeah, so Ground is not eligible. It's just that these have other types. Okay, so Marowak's not eligible. But the point is, it does well against Marowak, resisting those charge attacks, resisting the charge attacks from Gastrodon, besides the Body Slam, which is not going to KO. So yeah, Toadschool has a unique play there, and that's why I love it as a Mud Slap user. And then we have Dunsparce. Rollout could see some play, Drill Run, and then Rock Slide, of course, Rock Slide receiving that buff, so a little bit more play for the Dunsparce. And then we have Gyarados. So Gyarados has been a lot of fun. It gets to Aqua Tail so fast. It's just, it needs shields because it's so glassy, and like any charge attack will essentially knock it out, right? And then the V-Rank, we do have actually Raikou. Raikou getting to the moves fast. I mean, Thundershock. This one has Thundershock or Spear Shadow Ball. Is that the moveset you want? I'm not positive, but I mean, we might see Raikou here or there, which would be pretty cool to see. There are a lot of ground types in the meta, so you do have to watch out. Raikou obviously has to watch out for that, but probably not going to be the electric of choice. You know, I think that's going to go to Stunfisk, but still going to be cool to see it here or there. Turtonator with the powerful Incinerate damage. And then we have Brutal Swing as well. And then what else do you run? Do you run Dragon Claw? But this Pokemon finally has bait moves. Has a bait move. Has a faster, cheaper move. Love to see it. Love Turtonator now. And then we have Dedenne. Dedenne with the Parabolic Charge. A really good electric type. Yeah, electric is good. You know, it's just it needs to avoid. It has a lot of work to do. It has to avoid the ground types. It has to avoid like the grass types it doesn't want to see. So things like that. You do have some Pokemon you have to avoid, but if you can avoid them, it could do pretty well. And then we have Venusaur with the super powerful Frenzy Plant. And Sludge as well. It receives Sludge. Not Sludge Bomb. You want Sludge on Venusaur now. And then we have Palkia, another Dragon Breath user. Shadow Palkia, that is. You can't get the regular one, but Shadow one in the Great League, doing tremendous amount of damage with the Dragon Breath. And then Fearow. Fearow has Peck and Drill Run, so very cool stuff. And then we have Quagsire, or Shadow Quagsire. Yeah, I mean, definitely, I would say, out of all the Mud Boys, I mean, I'm not including, like, Gastrodon, but, like, the Mudshot Mud Boys, this is probably the one that's stuck around the longest. Swampet's not bad. You do see Swampet, but, you know, Quagsire has been the one I see the most of. Dodrio also has Peck, so Dodrio is a Pokemon we could see. Fearow probably going to be a little bit better. And then we have Lapras. So, Lapras with the Psywave, Sparkling Area, and Ice Beam. There's so many grass and ground types, so you probably do want Ice Beam in this meta for sure. The other options, we do have Magnezone. Going to be tough to use because it is double weak to ground, but... so, probably going to be tough to use. Probably not going to see much of it. Did you know Dartrix has Peck? So, we might see Dartrix. I believe it's Peck. We might see Dartrix as well. And then we have Ninetales with the Ember. Shadow Ninetales, I would probably go with the Ember getting to the moves fast. Weather Ball super fast. Overheat. Even Solar Beam if you want to go with it. All those ground types. Yeah, but the Overheat's going to do a tremendous amount regardless. Then we have Ferret. Ferret's a great Pokemon. Shadow. I almost said Shadow Club, but no. Second Punch. Swift. Trailblaze. Ursaring, and then Barbarico, which I believe is another Mud Slap user, but it's not going to be one that we really see. We're going to see other Mud Slap users. Magcargo as another Incinerate user. If you want to go double Incinerate, this could be something you want to do. Turtonator and Magcargo could be pretty cool to run. And then we have Jellicent as another Pokemon with Hex, Surf, Shadow Ball. I mean, the Shadow Ball hits like a truck unless if it's a normal type. Bellybolt could be a Pokemon we see. Probably, maybe buff this up a little bit. I don't know. Bellybolt, it might be one we see, but because of all ground types, might be difficult. And then we have Charjabug, that's also another electric type, but we also have Galiciopod, which could be a good Pokemon to use. Galiciopod is generally a safe swap, a good safe swap. So this one, Might see some play here and then a Alolan Marowak. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the solid team options. So for the first team, I have double water. I have Empoleon and Gyarados. So obviously the back line not going to appreciate electric Pokemon, but the Toedscool is going to love electric Pokemon with that Mud Slap damage, right? So something to keep in mind, the backline is not weak to grass, you know, so you don't have to worry about that, even though Toedscool not necessarily going to like grass, unless if it's also poison where it's doing neutral damage, because the Mud Slap is resisted. So if it's like Venusaur or Victreebel, I guess has play because Mud Slap is neutral. But yeah, overall, I think this team could be pretty solid here. Definitely the Dragon Breath on the Gyarados. Then next up, we have Fortress with Drampa and Kingdra, so double Dragon in the back. So you can safe swap one of them, whichever one you want. Probably, honestly, whichever one you want. Probably Kingdra, but both of them can work as a safe swap. And lure out any possible, I don't know, Steel type maybe. If you happen to run into like a Togedemaru. I don't think there's going to be many of them. I think Dragon is relatively safe here, to be honest with you. And obviously, you know, Fortress is going to hate fire types, right? But the back line, of course, is resisting fire type moves, so that's going to be really good. I think this is a team I might try. Then we have Double Grass with Credillia as a safe swap, and then we have Shadow Victreebel with Samurott in the lead. So, of course, the grass type, generally not going to like fire. Of course, the Credillia has play with Rock Slide, and then you have the Samurott. You could use another water type. You could use Empoleon, Kingdra, Toxapex. You could use another water type instead of the Samurott if you want to. And the safe swap is going to be Credillia. Next up, we have Double Flying. We have Fearow, Dodrio. Backline hates electric, but Gastrodon does well against electric. Of course, if you wanted to, you could go Toedscool. You could go another Mud Slap user. And then next up, we have Double Fire with Turtonator, Makago, and then the backline. What is it not? It's not going to like Mud Slap, but we know Toedscool does well against other Mud Slap users. Not going to like Ground in general, but that's where Toedscool as a Mud Slap user is going to work well. And then next up, we have Double Water. There's a lot of ABB teams in the Summer Cup. So we have Quagsire and Lapras, and I put Turtonator in the lead. So Grass type Pokemon, going to do well against the backline. But you do have the Ice Beam coverage on Lapras, and then Turtonator going to be able to handle the grass types. But yeah, with that being said, that will be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.